Alright guys, we're back. Sorry it took me a minute. We're just gonna jump in here quickly. Got some interviews to do. Okay. Alright, sorry about that. I had to get my head straight.
No, you're all good.
Just getting everything set up so I can take notes.
Yeah, no worries. Take your time.
Okay, I think I'm finally ready. Alright. So this is not going to take very long. It usually lasts about 30 minutes, give or take. Just depends how it goes. Just answer honestly. It's not like, you know, an SAT or anything. Just, you know, the first part will be just trying to get to know you on a personal level. And then then there's some situational questions, and that's pretty much it. It's not too intricate. Just answer honestly and put yourself in the shoes of someone who would work here, or for the situational stuff.
Sounds good.
Alright. So we'll just start off with the basics. Pretty much, why don't you just tell me about yourself, whether that be, you know, age, where you come from, whatever you want to tell me and share. Just tell me about yourself.
All right. Well, my name's Blake Alejandro. I'm 26 years old. I'm actually from Los Santos. I grew up in the South Side with my mom and pops. Sadly, both my parents, passed away though. But yeah, I'm very into cars because like when my dad, when I was young, my dad, always had me around vehicles. He was a mechanic as well. So I've always been around cars, usually my whole life growing up. So like, cars are kind of like my main thing. Yeah, I dabble in the racing scene a little bit, and yeah, that's about it.
I gotcha. And keep in mind, I will be like taking notes, so if it takes me a minute to like respond, it's because I'm writing.
Yeah, no worries.
I gotta keep track of everyone, so. Okay. So I know you touched on it just a little bit there, but what are your interests?
So I got a couple interests, just making like meeting a lot of people around the city. I'm a big people person, so just like, meeting a lot of people, getting connections is really big for me. But yeah, cars mainly, getting to like the racing scene, and I finally have my A classes I wanted, so dabbling in that a little bit. And then also like my other interests, I work at Rusty's, so like I'm usually there a lot. But if I like, if I get this job, I have plenty of time to mix the two and spend time equally.
I gotcha. I used to work at Rusty's too. And it's okay. Be honest, because we all dabble. What is your? Do you have a gang? Are you a part of a gang?
Yeah, I'm part of Oni.
Only. I take it you participate in crime on a regular basis.
Yeah, I do for the most part.
Gotcha. And I know you said you work at Rusty's, but do you have any other work experience, like inside this city or a different city?
Yeah, I worked out more before Rusty's, but that wasn't really my cup of tea, honestly. Like, I was there like for security, and yeah, it just wasn't really for me. So then I got hired at Rusty's, and that's kind of where I stayed.
I got you. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to be a little discreet 'cause these walls are very thin. Uh, it doesn't matter either way, but um, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about your car knowledge?
I would say about like a 7, maybe a 7.5 to an 8.
Alright, and what about your sales knowledge?
Also probably about like a 7.5 to an 8. I would say like, with me being a people person, I'd be a pretty decent salesman as well, you know.
I gotcha. 1 second. Shush. Sorry about that. And so how many sales do you think you could do in a week? How many cars do you think you should sell?
Honestly, for the first week, I would say somewhere between like 10 to 15. Obviously, that's not like come to position. I would always want to, just for myself, not necessarily more like, well, obviously it's for Larry's as well, but I would always want to one up that goal and try to like sell as many cars that week as I can. So like if the first week I do 15, my next goal would be like 20, 25 then. And then if I could beat that, it would be like 30, just keep going up to see how far like I can really push it.
I got you. So would you say you are able to read and follow directions pretty well?
Yes, ma'am.
What about when it comes to telling your friends information? Are you okay with not leaking out inventory information to your friends?
Yes, ma'am. Obviously, I know that's like, you know, that would cost me my job. So like, I'm perfectly fine. I mean, they know it as well. Like, they wouldn't be good friends if they were, trying to get that shit out of me. They couldn't respect my boundaries on that.
Okay, and what's your availability looking like?
For the weekdays, it would be AU EU times, maybe a little bit of start of NA. For the weekends, it would be really just start like mid NA all the way to AU EU times.
Alright, and how do you feel about working in teams? Are you a good team player?
Yeah, I would say I can definitely work well with others. I have no problem like a Rusty's like I work I always let the mechanics take first dibs on the cars and then usually take turns and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure it would be like a similar basis here. I'm very good at like giving people a chance to get their worthwhile at work.
Oh yeah, we're very big about rotation here. We don't take sales hogs very lightly, as we have had some in the past. If people are here on the clock, everybody wants to make money. So we don't. If you all work together, like the team that we have now is really solid, which is why we're being very selective on who we hire. Even though it's a small team, it's a very solid team, and they all work together. So 9 times out of 10, usually the rule is you just rotate and take turns. Even if the customer doesn't end up getting a vehicle, you treat each customer with the same dignity and respect. And we don't. It's not part of the rules, but if you work together with your co-workers, then you guys on your own terms can be like, hey, I know it's your turn, but you didn't get a sale on your last one, and my customer's ready to, to buy a car. You can have it, type of stuff. Like they do it like that, and that's the whole sale. So it's a big thing to do, but we all try to work together like that. So it's not something we take lightly, sales hogs or going out of rotation or doing that kind of thing. Like, yeah, we just don't take it anymore. So everyone works together, and we all look out for each other at the moment. So we're trying to keep it that way.
Yeah, 1,000%. Like I said, Rusty's, it's pretty much the same way, you know. Dick runs really strict over there. They don't like sale hogs like you guys over here, you know. So I'm used to the rotation process, and I'm more than happy to give even sales. At the end of the day, it's sales. You're helping the business out regardless. You know, if people, I'm happy to give mine up anytime if somebody else needs it as bad or worse than me, you know.
I gotcha. So what are your strengths and your weaknesses, if you have any?
So my strengths, like I said, I'm very patient with people. I'm more like chillax and chill. I usually don't like get pressed or like get mad if like I lose a sale or whatever. You know, at the end of the day, it is what it is, bro. It's out of your control. You know, like I'm a people person though. I could definitely like talk a lot. That could either be sound as a strength or a weakness. You know, but it could be either or. Because some people just want to be in and out. They really don't want you to talk their ear off. Other people like the conversation. It just depends on what kind of person you got to deal with. Some of my other weaknesses though is probably uh hmm, let me think about that. This is a really good question.
I know.
You probably stump a lot of people with this one. I'm not gonna lie.
I'd say, that's why I said at the end, if you have any, it's really up to you. I know you gave me a little bit, but it's up to you.
Yeah, like I said, I think my it just depends on kind of who the people you deal with. Could be like talking or like sometimes I like to I got a goofy personality, you know so being goofy sometimes that could also be a strength or a weakness. Just depends on how the person takes it. Obviously, like if that person doesn't like that kind of thing, I can be more serious as well, so that's like a strength. I'm really good at reading people too. That could be like another. But yeah, like for the most part, I think that's about it.
All right. And what are some of your goals, or your goal?
Honestly, I kind of like I'm reaching a lot of my goals, which I'm very proud of myself for. I got myself some A classes. That was my first goal. I'm dabbling in the house market now, so that's like a goal of mine is to get a good little house that I can keep and call mine, call a home. And then probably like job, like my third goal would be job wise was I crossed the mechanic off the list, which is at Rusty's, and then honestly being a car salesman. So like hopefully that can get crossed off the list now.
I got you. We shall see. Um, so what my final sort of one question like this is, what motivates you?
Honestly, my friends and family, and obviously myself. At the end of the day, like you got to believe in yourself to make things happen. You can't just like always rely on others. So just believing in yourself and just moving forward and keeping a positive attitude is probably my biggest motivation. Just at the end of the day, times get tough. You just got to learn how to hop that obstacle and keep going.
You're right about that. I'm not gonna elaborate too much on this. If we get to training, that's where like I'll really start to go in on everything. But I want you to answer honestly, so I don't want to like give away anything to my future questions. So just if I'm keeping it brief, that's why.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're all good.
So now we're gonna get into some situational type questions. Like I said before, just answer honestly. How you, like I said, put yourself in these shoes. Answer honestly how you would handle these type of situations. There's not too many. So you just get into work, and there's 2 people here already on the clock. What do you do first? Slash, how do you start your day?
Well, I'll walk in. I would say, hey guys, I'm the new hire. Nice to meet y'all. If y'all don't mind, could I just shadow y'all? I won't take any sales unless y'all want me to. But just shadow y'all, maybe learn a little bit. Obviously, I'll probably get that during onboarding as well. But just to have more experience, shadowing some. I'm a hands-on person, so shadowing something could be like helping. Obviously, I wouldn't like, I was like, hey, you already got 2 people working here. Like, can I just shadow one of y'all? I won't like take any of the sales unless y'all want me to. But yeah, just getting that experience and just like knowledge, and having somebody there to answer any questions I have would be really, really good in my opinion.
I gotcha. So next one is, let's say you've been on the clock for 2 hours or some amount of hours. You notice that it's been. Let me elaborate. That it's been slow. So you've been on the clock. You haven't really had any sales, or you might not have any at all. You notice that another employee arrives. They don't say. Well, you notice that. Okay, let me re-elaborate. You've been on the clock for a couple hours. It's slow. You haven't had any sales. You notice that someone arrives with a friend. They're not dressed or anything, but they do happen to come in, clock on. They don't say anything to you, but they clock on, sell a car real quick, and then dip with that friend. How do you feel, or what? How do you feel about that?
Well, like you said before, you got a really good team here. So obviously, if that happened, I would be a little upset. I'm not gonna lie. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'm fine with giving sales. Not, I mean, obviously, I think I'll bring it up to you, like making you aware of what happened, and kind of just like letting you handle that. I wouldn't say anything to the person or like egg on the situation or try to cause any drama or like aggression towards either side. But yeah, I would just mainly come to you or maybe like other person in like management slot or that can handle that kind of thing, and just be like, hey, look, this is what happened. At the end of the day, it is what it is. But I just want you to be known that like this person's doing this, so just so you're aware.
Gotcha. Yeah, and in any type of situation like that, or even if you've got a doubt in your mind or you're not sure how to do something, it's always reach out to a manager. We're pretty easy to get in touch with. There's 3 of us, and we're here around all different times of the day. Usually I'm here at night, Akira's here during NA, and Mo's like sort of EU. So we're always able to get in touch with. We mostly operate through an email chain. That's how we do everything. We tried to do IRC, but it's just too much of a pain in the ass. So it's just our email chain is our bread and butter. That's what we run off of. And yeah, it's very easy to get in touch with us. Of course, try to get in touch with us in the city first, and if not, we are able to get reached by email if you think it's important enough for that. But we always tell all employees to let us know if you ever feel some type of way or feel like you've been wronged or anything like that. Just tell us. You're not a tattletale. You're not doing any type of that shit. We're not going to tell anybody that. It's just just so we know, because we've got a disciplinary sheet. On that disciplinary sheet is 3 strikes and you're out, pretty much. So that's how we work.
Yeah, 1000%.
Next one would be, so while you're working, you notice that there's been some threats against the shop via L or verbally from YP. How do you handle it?
Well, obviously, if there's anybody working with me, I would tell them about it. Like you said, I would get in contact with the manager instantly and be like, hey, look, this person was mad that they didn't, maybe car or something. They didn't get a car that they really, really wanted, and then they're threatening us. So I'll reach out to a manager, let them know, like, hey, look, this person just threatened us. And then after that, I'll get in contact with the authorities, be like, hey, look, we got some threats on the shop. I don't know if it's like, maybe you guys can do some investigating or come on down and just, give us a little protection just in case if it does happen. Because obviously, we want to keep the workplace professional. So I don't, nobody here wants to handle that shit themselves. So rather just let the cops deal with that, let the managers deal with that, and just just pass on the information to the right people.
All right. What was I gonna ask? So that's pretty much all I got situationally. I forgot to add this question, but do you think with your scheduling right now that you'd be capable to at least sell um, 5 vehicles a week, if not more, and/or anytime you come in to sell a car, you have to, or you come in to do anything, well, if you're just looking, that's one thing, but if you come in to sell a car, or you come in to check, like to clock on and check some stock, and I'm asking this because these are our new protocols, so everyone has to do this, so I need to make sure that you have the time and the means to do it. To also, so like I said, if you come in for a sale or anything, you have to at least work 20 minutes. There's no more like only on call bullshit that we used to do. There's no more come in and sell a car and leave. Like, it's one thing if you've been working for a couple hours, but this is per government's mouth, not ours. Yeah, the whole you can't just sell cars and leave anymore. You have to come in and put in hours. And right now the rule is pretty much for new people and for anybody who gets put on probation, more or less, it's at least 5 to 10 cars a week. And anytime you come in to sell a car, if you're not on the clock already, you have to at least work for 20 minutes. Do you think you'd be able to abide and meet these standards every
Oh
week?
yeah, 100%. If I'm here to clock in, I'm here for at least an hour at minimum. If not a couple hours. Like I said, if I'm willing to work and come on duty to clock in, like, yeah, I'm gonna work a couple hours at least.
Gotcha. Because I mean, working at Rusty's or all jobs, they have minimum standards. People just can't have jobs and not do anything. So
Oh
they're
yeah,
really
1000%.
cracking down on the dealerships on doing that kind of shit. Because of course, if everyone had their choice, they'd all work at 9 times out of 10 work at a car dealership. It's a pretty easy job and a pretty easy pay. But you'd be surprised at the people who can't read or can't listen. And we do deal with a lot here because we do have some very high demand stock. We've got a pretty long high demand stock list. So you will hear everything under the sun, and you've got to be able to handle your attitude with these kind of customers and whatnot. So it's just I like to be upfront about it. This is what you're going to be required to do. Can you do it? Type of thing. You'd be surprised how many people can't. I just had to let 2 people go today because they weren't willing to at least sell 5 cars a week and or do the 20 minutes. So just making sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. But besides that, like I said, that sort of wraps up my situational questions. And then we just asked you a couple little fun freebies at the end to sort of get that, just to top it all off. First one is if you could be any animal, what would you be?
This is actually a good one because I think I would be like a hyena because like I said before, I got that goofy personality, you know, kind of a jokester. So I have a funny side, but like I said, I don't want to be serious as well. So I think that would fit me kind of perfect.
I got you. And what's your favorite scenic spot in the city? Or where do you like to go take pictures or hang out? Anything like that?
Honestly, my two favorites. I know they're kind of like a lot of people's favorites, but the Vinewood sign is very beautiful to look over the city. Especially if you climb up the ladder. It's a very beautiful city to look over,
Very
especially at
nice.
night.
Uh-huh.
And then the observatory, same thing. Get up high. Look over the city. It's a very very beautiful view.
I gotcha. Yeah, I love those spots too. And what's your favorite thing to do in the city?
Honestly, since I got hired at the mechanic spot, that's probably one of my favorite things to do. I just like helping others. So just like, getting them for repairs and just whatever else they need. I just like helping other people. So like, making their lives easier to make my life easier kind of thing.
I understand. Alright. That pretty much wraps up all my interview questions. Like I said, or like I've been telling you, the competition is steep. I've literally got a list of like 30, 40 people, and then my other manager, Kira, also has a list of about 30, 40 people different from mine. So we are trying to go through as many as we can, or at least until we feel like we have the people that we need. Um, so I can't make any promises. I like everybody. If I could hire everyone, I could. But because we have to be so selective, uh, yeah, it's not only up to me. It's a decision that all the managers have to make. So that's why I try to write down as much info as possible to let them know, how this went, and blah blah blah. And sometimes my eyes are open as well. So yeah, we try to do the best we can. If we could give everyone a job, we could. But with everything that's required here, we have to be very selective. Like I said, we've got a really strong team right now, and I'm not trying to dissipate that or hurt it in any way. I'd like to add to it and make it even stronger if possible, and that just requires a certain type of people. So, we shall see how it goes. You're only like my third interview so far. Um, People don't like to answer their phone, or it's hard. It's been difficult to line up with people, and I've also been a little bit busy in my nightmare. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I've still got some more to do. As far as the time goes, originally I had told my first two it would be like sometime by the end of this weekend, but I'm not sure I can make that. So if anything, you might hear from me at the beginning of the week. I try to reach out to everyone, even if they don't get the position, so they're not waiting around. And if you don't get it, that doesn't mean it's a no for forever. It just means it's a no for right now. And how that works
1000%.
is right. How that works is if you maintain your interests, and let's say a couple weeks or whenever we have another open position, we would just pretty much revisit an interview, not this same one, but a more condensed sort of revisited interview, and we can try again. So if you ever get a no, it's not a permanent no, it's just a no right now. So don't take it, to heart. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got question wise, and hopefully everything works out. Do you have any questions for me, concerns, anything?
No, that's that pretty much sums it up. I appreciate your time and appreciate you for doing this.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry it took me so long. Like I said, I've just got some shit going on, so I'm trying my best. But I appreciate you coming in, because there was supposed to be some other people coming in, but they don't want to message me back, so we'll do it another day. But
Yeah, yeah,
I
100%.
appreciate you coming in, sort of a last minute notice, and hopefully things go well. Hey, good luck to you. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, thank you very much. Hope I appreciate your time, like I said, and hopefully you have a good rest of your day. All right.
No problem, Blake. You too. I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah, no worries. All right, you have a good day.
You too. I'll see you around.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. He was cool. A little sort of bland for my taste, but I know he's a cool guy, or at least I think so. I don't really know these people like that, you know. I hope. So let's see. Nobody else is answering me but Bugsy and Odin. How far is Odin? Let's see if he answers. The fuck? Why is this all smashed up? There we go. Alright, one more. I've gotta get something to drink.
Hello, Mr. Rat. Hello. I'm doing just fine. Hey.
Hello.
Why you gapping?
Yo, yo, yo. How y'all doing?
All
How's it going?
right.
Chilling, little bro, chilling.
You ready?
So, look at some more things.
Of course. How's your day going?
It's all right. You know, we're here. How about you?
It's been a doozy, but we're surviving. Keeping on, you know.
That's right. Let me get all my papers together. Give me 1 second. He did not come dressed. I will take note. Not dressed. Minus points off the jump. Okay. So it's not going to take very long. It's a relatively simple interview. Only lasts about maybe 30 minutes, give or take. Just ask you a couple personal questions to start off with, and then we go into some situational questions, and then that's pretty much it. So I
Okay.
won't. I'm not gonna answer too much or elaborate too much into it because that could sway your future answers. So I'm just gonna jot down your answers, and ask you the questions and give you like a brief response or whatever I feel necessary. Other than that, yeah, we'll just get started then. So, first one is just tell me about yourself. That can be your age, where you're from, whatever you'd like to share. Just tell me about yourself.
Sure, sure. My name is Odin Creed. I'm 40 years old. I currently work at Drive By and Cut Up Customs, so I am no stranger to automobiles of all kinds. I grew up in a small town in South Texas, right outside of Corpus Christi. Uh, Moved to Santos when I was about 25, 26, give or take. So I've been here for a while. Uh, I'm a people person. I just, I like talking to people, like making friendly with people. It's part of the reason why I do what I do for a living because, you're constantly getting clients coming in and out. And rather than just have it be a very direct thing where it's, oh, what can I help you with? Oh, you need a repair. Okay, have a good one. Or, oh, this is the bike you want. Oh, have a good one. I like to connect with the people, have a deeper conversation with them, find out what they like, uh, things that they're into, and build relationships, So,
I gotcha, and I will be like writing all this down. So if it takes me a minute to respond and move on, it's just because I'm writing.
would you like me to speak a little slower?
No. You're good. You're good. Yeah, I just gotta finish writing before I move on to the next question. So
Understood.
please, you don't speak slower. Let's see. So, what are your interests in the city?
I like fishing. I love riding my motorcycle, just going for long rides. Similar to my last answer, I just like talking to people. I like building relationships with the community and, getting to know everybody.
I got you. And are you a part of a gang?
No.
Do you, and it's please, it's fine if you do. Many of us do. Do you participate in crime at all?
Yes.
Gotcha. And what is your work experience like? That can be, well, in this city, but also if you have something out in a different city you'd like to share, that's fine too.
Sure. Like I said, currently I work at Cut Up Customs as well as Drive By. I'm a mechanic at Drive By and a salesperson at Cut Up. Prior to working there, I did work at a car dealership for 6 years. 6 years, give or take, yeah. So the world of car sales is no stranger to me.
I gotcha. So what, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you say your car knowledge is? The cars in the city.
I don't want to sound overzealous and say it's too high. Maybe 7 or 8. I don't think anybody is a 10. 9 is pretty damn good. So yeah, 7 or 8.
Alright, and how about your sales knowledge? 1 to 10.
8 or 9. Only because I think 10 exists. 10 is perfect, right? So
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've had anybody say 10, but I also can't remember because I've interviewed too many people. But I don't think anyone said a 10. So how many sales do you think you could do in a week? How many cars do you think you could sell in a week?
Um. Well, okay. So I have a couple questions before I answer that, because at Cut Up, I was doing a lot of cold calling. I was going on the yellow pages. I was calling people, seeing if they had interest in vehicles, letting them know that we're open, letting them know our location, what we have in stock, so on and so forth. And they didn't like that. And I don't know what the floor traffic is like here to be able to say for sure. Because
Wait,
there's a lot of variables,
you
right?
said you was calling or they was calling?
I was cold calling. Yeah, I was calling people on the yellow pages to let them know that we're open and what we have in stock.
Oh.
So there's a couple variables, right? How many hours a week I work, what the floor traffic is, if that is an acceptable practice or not to cold call people.
Well, I'm not. I don't want to elaborate too much to influence your future questions, but just to sort of give you an idea. No one really does the cold calling sort of thing. I mean, Larry's is busy enough where we don't have to do that. We're the longest standing car dealership in the city, obviously. We're the only
Okay.
ones that has all the classes, and we've had them since we've been open. So
Right.
we stay pretty busy, and if we're not, and if it's slow, which that does happen, we just do a lot of advertisement. If you do the right advertisement, say the right things, you will get people through the door. But yeah, as far as cold calling, I don't. I already think no one's really trying to do it, and I don't think my other
It's
managers
necessary.
would. I don't think my other managers would be okay with that.
All right.
They're
that's
not
fine.
big on like pestering people too much. But like I said, if you do the right advertisement, you shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to like call individual people. Just do your L ads. That's also why we take a lot of pictures. The pictures do help.
On the L
Shows
posts, yeah.
yeah, it shows. So not only do we get involved with the customers, but then those pictures, they just show off the cars, give people an idea of, what's in stock, and that somebody's made a sale. It just looks nice. So it's all about wording and everything, and those things we'll go over in training, or you learn as you go type of thing. But yeah, as
I
far
think-
as just to finish off what I was saying, we don't do any more like being on call type of stuff. It used to
Right.
be okay in the past, but with recent changes, we've been told that that's not okay anymore. So
Okay.
everyone is required if they come in to sell a car, if they come in for anything besides looking at vehicles like a customer, you have to at least work 20 minutes.
Okay.
And I will go ahead and say that minimum, you have to, especially for new people and people that are on probation, you have to meet the sales goal of at least 5 to 10 cars a week. So
Okay.
that's pretty much all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be an issue. I'm around a ton. A bit of a workaholic. Yeah, that won't be an issue.
So with that in mind, how many cars do you think you could sell in a week?
If the minimum's 10, probably around 30.
Alright, that's not bad. I mean, we've got a guy that every month, for the past few months now, he's been selling 200, 300 cars, so it's not impossible.
No
It is
shit.
very possible.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why Ezra's our top salesman. He's hard to beat. I don't know if he's going to be beatable, but this month he has 200 car sales, so
Well, now I have a goal.
yeah, it is possible. So the next one is, are you capable / do you feel comfortable reading and following directions as they are given to you? As far as
Yeah,
work,
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
are you able to stay up to date with an email chain?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And are you capable of not leaking stock info or any in-house car info to your friends?
100%. I think the other night you kind of got an understanding. I feel like, it should be done. So yeah, absolutely not. I wouldn't do that.
Wonderful. And so that's also well, I guess I sort of explained this earlier about the sales requirements in the 20 minutes for each sale. So would you be able, do you feel like you'd be able to meet those requirements of the sales a week and the 20 minutes anytime you come in to sell a car, those type of things?
Oh, I would absolutely, like, way more than 20 minutes, for sure. But yeah, I do 100%.
Wonderful. And what's your availability looking like?
Every day, Sunday through Monday, or Sunday through 7 days a week. Um, 7 days a week, and then I'm pretty, like, I'm around.
Hello, Gail. How
for,
you doing?
like,
Thanks for dropping
long
by.
time throughout the day. Figure like sometimes 4 p.m. till about 8 a.m. So my schedule is very aggressive.
Would you say you're primarily here like NA, AU, EU? Or one of you?
I'm not here EU, would be NA and AU. If I am here during EU hours, it's usually pretty brief, or like a one-off kind of day.
I got you. And how is your teamwork ability? Do you like working in teams? You capable of doing it?
Yeah, for it. You know, like I said, I'm a people person. Working in teams is just that.
You're very right. And what is your strengths and weaknesses, if you have any?
I would say that my strengths are, I have a couple. Being a people person, being somebody that's very experienced in sales, knowing that when you talk to a customer, you got to find out a couple things. You got to find out what their budget is. You got to find out what their needs are as far as a vehicle, so you can point them in the right direction. I'm sure a lot of times people come in, they know what they want, but for those that don't, you need to be able to educate them and help point them in the right direction. My weakness is my joints. I'm getting old.
I understand that. Alright, and what are your goals? / what motivates you?
Goals are, I want to be one of the top salespeople that you have. That's always going to be a goal. What motivates me is waking up every day and being happy that, you know, it's a new day and finding a new experience in that day, you know.
Alright. So that pretty much concludes my personal questions. Now we're gonna get into some situational ones. So just, you know, put your shoes into like a worker that's here, and just answer honestly. Don't bullshit me. I'm pretty like honest person. So just just be honest. How you would handle these situations. Don't tell me what I want to hear. Tell me how you would honestly react to him. So first one. So let's just say you just got into work. There's already 2 other people here on the clock just chilling. What do you do first / how do you start your day?
I clock in, come in and talk to them. Ask them, you know, how their day's going, how it's been. Has it been busy? You know, what should I expect throughout the day? I don't know if there's like, so at drive-by, I need to
We do
things in
rotation.
Sales rotation.
Yeah, as far as that, we work off rotation as well.
Okay. Well, no, what I was going to reference is at drive-by, there's like things that I need to fix throughout the shop to make sure that the shop is functioning.
Yeah, we don't Unfortunately,
You don't
we
have
don't.
anything like that?
Yeah, it's all sales here, so it's
Okay.
yeah, pretty much.
Well, then, if that's the case, obviously, if it works off of rotation, I would be the last in the rotation as I just clocked in. I would likely, like I said, I would talk to the people that are here, see how they're doing. I would probably ask them if, since I'm at the back of the rotation, if there's anything that I could do to help them. Do they need me to go get food? Do they need, water or pack of smokes from the corner store or something? Just kind of help them get through their day. You know what I mean?
All right, I like it. I mean, we're right where we are. You've got everything here. So
Right.
it's not that hard. Oh, I also forgot to ask you. I actually need to add this to my list. Are you capable of every time or any time you get on the clock to be in business casual?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Um, I'm underdressed, and I do apologize. Uh, my I don't know what to call her brand. It's complicated. She's in the ICU, so I was actually on my way over there. But when you called it, I told her that I had the job interview, and she told me to come. So
Well, I appreciate you letting me know. Because yeah, it is. We do definitely require everyone to whenever they're clocked in to be in business casual. We have a lot of people that forget that or are lazy with it, and there's just no excuses. Unfortunately, we don't have a wardrobe here in the back, but there's a fucking clothing store right next door.
yeah, that's right.
I-
Right.
I-
Yeah,
I
I'll be
don't-
dapper. Don't you worry.
You'd be surprised how many people are lazy with it, and I'm like, "Are you working?" And they're in like some beach wear. I'm like, "The fuck you get on my clock in that?" Like, you go right next door and get dressed.
3-piece suit.
Yeah, it's really not that hard. The only exception was Ezra, just because he literally didn't have any suit in the city, but he paid for that himself, and he got himself a suit.
Yeah.
So now there's no exceptions. Everyone, if you're gonna clock in or be on the clock, no, if you're gonna clock in at all, then yeah, you gotta be on business casual. But so as long as you know that, we're good. Sorry, I forgot to ask that one earlier. So back to the situational. Let's say you've been on the clock for a couple hours. It's been kind of slow. You haven't sold much. You notice that a car pulls in. So two people in the car. Happens that one of them works there. They go in, they clock in right past you. They don't say anything, but they sell their friend a car and then they leave. How do you feel about that? Slash, what do you do?
So it's a double-edged sword, because on one end of things, I do understand, they're your friend and they want to buy a car, you want to sell them a car. I get that. I 100% understand where that comes from. However, as you just stated to me, that there is a rotation. So that rotation will need to be followed regardless. So that being said, I'd probably speak to the individual that privately and just be like, "Hey man," or "Hey ma'am, obviously this is what it is. Like, what's going on? You okay?" Like, see what they have to say from there. And assuming that it's a peaceful conversation, I would probably just let the manager know, like, "Hey, this happened, and just keep an eye on it," type of thing. Then on the other side of the coin, if they kind of like, told me to, whatever, weren't too kind with their words, I would still report to the manager, let them know, "Hey, this is how this all went down. How would you like me to handle it next time, if there is a next time?"
Oh, I gotcha. And that, just to elaborate that, because I didn't want to say too much about it earlier, because I was aware of this question. But we used to be pretty relaxed about that. Well, Akira did, especially because I don't know, that was just his mindset, was he was okay with people being on call. But due to recent changes and meetings that we had with the government, that sort of thing's not allowed anymore. So if you get a job here and you see it, we want you to tell the managers right away. Or if you ever see anything that goes against our rules and guidelines, or feel like you've been wronged anyway, we want you to tell us. That's not being a tattletale. We're not going to go say he said, she said, whatnot. But that's because we've got a discipline system, and we keep track of any time we've got to say anything, or anybody fucks up against the rules. We keep track of it all, and it's 3 strikes you're out. So,
Right.
and one of the big things that the government did say per their mouth is like anybody who tries to like sell things and leave, to let them know and that they're coming for them. That's exactly what they said. So that's not allowed anymore. And it's pretty much if you come in to do any sort of sale like that, you've got to at least work 20 minutes. So if you get a sale, or if they get if they get a sale like that, you can't work 20 minutes. Then I guess you need to give it up or reschedule till you do. Because we're not gonna have people coming out of the shop anymore. So just to give you a heads up.
Understood.
So let's say next one is there's been some threats against the shop via L or verbally from IP. How do you handle it?
I think it's important to understand that first and foremost, this is a place of business, right? If you'd asked me prior in this interview if I conducted crime, I honestly answered yes. That does not mean that it is acceptable to act in that fashion here, because it is a place of business. If it's on L, I would likely just I wouldn't respond to it. Would probably take a screenshot of it, pass it to a manager or the local authorities. If it's present in the building, I would try to de-escalate the situation and ask them kindly to leave. If they decided that that is not what they want to do, then I would likely just call the local authorities and let them handle it.
That's a fair answer. So, my last sort of situational one that I've got is, so there's you and one other co-worker on the clock. A customer arrives and begins talking to you, but it's not your turn yet, and your co-worker is in the back, sort of busy in their head, if you know what I mean. How do you handle that?
I think there's a couple ways that you can handle it. If they're deep in thought, you're not going to just ignore the customer. You talk to the customer, help the customer with what they need. I'm assuming this point of sale is similar to how it works at Cut Up, so it wouldn't be like I would be able to put their for them to get. If the reality of it is that they're still deep in thought through the entire situation, I would likely make the sale and then just give them the commission as it was their turn. Or let's say they come out of being in thought midway through the situation, I would just pass it along to them. Say, hey, this is what they're looking at. This is what they need. And then, excuse me, I would introduce them. Obviously, you know, this is my coworker, so on. This is so on and so forth. You know what I mean? So.
I got you, and I will elaborate a bit on that. We've got a really strong team right now. We've got rid of all our dead weight pretty much. I mean, I can only think of maybe 1.5 people that sort of irritate me every once in a while, but other than that, we got rid of everyone else, and we've got a really strong team at the moment.
Good.
And they're really good about, as long as you're fair with them, as long as you put everyone in consideration, they're pretty good about, like, let's say in the similar sort of situation, but because we work off rotation, but it's not based off sale, it's based off customer. So when each customer needs help, that is whoever's turn in rotation. It's not whoever's ready to buy a car. with that, of course, not everyone is going to get a sale. You're going to have people that just want to get a price or just, whatever. So with that in mind, like I said, we've got a strong team where everyone works together. What they're pretty good about, and it's not always, and they don't have to do this, but it's out of their own like kind gesture of their heart. If like someone's last turn and they didn't get a sale, and then they get a customer with a sale, they're pretty good about passing that along, being like, hey, you didn't get a sale, you can have this one, and I'll just pass it. I'll get the next one on. Or if they've sold a lot of cars, like Ezra does every once in a while, he'll just pass it along and just be like, you can take this or whatever.
Yeah.
So they are pretty good about that at the moment.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I know it's might sound crazy to say, but I don't necessarily want to work here for the money. More so, I'm a people person. I just want to be able to talk to people,
I got you. We do have people. I can't think of maybe 2 other people that are the same way. They just love selling cars or whatever. But the check is also a bonus.
Yeah, of course, it's nice to get paid, but I wouldn't be like greedy, like, oh, I need to get this sale. I need to get. It's not.
Well, I appreciate that. That's why we do these interviews, is to sort of suss that out, because we don't we take being a sales hog and like stealing customers or anything like that really seriously. Like I said, that goes in the disciplinary system. It's something we've had some issues with in the past. Obviously, not everyone's like you. Some people that really are sales heavy, and they want to go, take as many as they can, hoping to get the biggest sale possible, or want to dick around until they get an S-class sale or something like that. And I don't deal with it, and the other managers really don't deal with it. And if we get wind of it, 9 times out of 10 we're gonna let them go. It depends on the situation, but 9 times out of 10. So it's just we don't like people that act that way. It's okay to want to meet some goals, but not at the expense of your coworkers, or disrespecting them, or taking their turn or their money as well. So we just try to make it fair as possible, and that's why Larry has stayed in business as long as it has.
Understood.
So that pretty much rounds up my situational questions, and then we just got a couple little random ones to cap it off. If you could be an animal, what would you be and why?
That is always the go-to, like, what's your spirit animal or what's your animal? I think I would like to be a lemur. They just seem like they just got it. They got it figured out. They move at their own pace. They're slow. They're adorable. People love them. They're just, they're just chill.
I like it. I like a lemur. Nice answer. So, what is your favorite scenic spot in the city? Where do you like to go take pictures or have some time to yourself? Look out in the scenery. Whatever.
The radio station just the north of here.
I do.
I like sitting up on that hill.
That's an odd spot to say, but I do love Harmony, so that's a great radio station.
It is. It's got a good view into different views, right? You can be facing towards the mountains. You can be different views, right? You can be facing towards, like.
I've always said that we need a radio station, like a live radio station, one where like it could be like a job, but where we play like music from inside the city and have interviews and
That'd
DJs,
be cool.
VJs,
That'd be
and
real cool.
and I always thought it could run out of that spot in particular. Maybe I'll pitch it to the government one day. We'll see. But yeah, it's just a thought I've had in the back of my head.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. If they can make it happen, then yeah, I think it'd be great. Especially if something you play in your car when you're driving around. Because, I mean, we've got a radio station, but they just don't work. And, what is your favorite thing to do in the city?
I really just like hanging out with my friends. I don't really matter what we're doing. You know, we go hiking, fishing, jet skis. It really doesn't matter. It's just, you know, hanging out with my friends. Best way to kill time.
That's nice. Alright, well, that pretty much wraps up my interview questions. As far as getting you an answer and how the process goes from here, obviously, like I said, I've got a long list, and I've only just really begun when it comes to interviews, and I am trying to do as many as I can. Unfortunately, unlike my last hiring thing, I was able to hire a lot of people that time. Like, I think it was almost like 8. This time it's very selective because we're only hiring 2 apiece. I'm doing 2, Akira's doing 2. We might end up doing a couple more, we'll see. It really depends, but so it's very selective. This round's going to be a little bit tough because we're having to be so selective. But as I've told everyone, if you get a no, it's not a permanent no, it's just a no right now. We could possibly call you, as long as you maintain your interest, we could possibly call you in the near future if someone gets canned, or if we decide that we need some more people. So I try to reach out to everyone, even if they don't get the job, just so they know, like, hey, it's, you know, it doesn't mean a no for forever, it's just a no for this round, and we might have one soon, we might have one not so soon. It really just depends, but as long as you maintain your interest, then you have a chance. Again, it's just, you know, this time it's just going to be a little bit tough. As far as the time estimate, I am a little bit busy in my nightmares. That's why it's taken me a minute to get these started, because I first reached out to people maybe 5-6 days ago, and only got started within the past couple days. So I originally was saying I would have an answer sometime this weekend, but that's just not going to happen. It might be to like maybe the middle of next week, or I'm going to try to aim for that middle to end of next week to give to finalize my couple interviews that I've got, or not my couple, a lot my interviews, my many interviews that I have, and to just get through a couple more people and see, you know, see what I got, see if I'm happy with what I got, and then yeah, it'll probably be sometime to the middle of the end of next week. As far as an answer goes, and like I said, I'll try to reach out, even if you do or do not get it. But other than that, did you have any questions for me or anything?
No, I mean, actually, yeah. What's your favorite scenic spot in the city?
My favorite scenic spot in the city. You know, at the moment, I keep taking a lot of pictures by the marina, but you know, it's also in my front yard because I do live in Sandy, right by the marina. So, and I happen to fish there a lot. So I've just been enjoying the changes that we have in our city in Sandy. They've made Sandy quite beautiful. But before that, I was a Harmony girl. Always lived in Harmony, even if it's one of the busted hotels to the nice cabin right by the prison to a cabin deep in the mountains where you have no fucking neighbors. I've lived in it all. I always go for Harmony, so Harmony is always my favorite spot to be in the city in general. But right now, yeah, I love the marina.
All right, hell yeah. Well, listen, no stress. You'll get back to me when you get back to me. I'm not too worried about it. Y'all great. If not, you know, I'm sure you had your reasonings, right? So
I appreciate it. Like I said, if it's a no, don't take it to heart. It's not a no forever. It's just no right now.
I won't.
But yeah, I guess you are aware, and this is per government's instruction, beyond ours. But I know you said that you'd be willing to leave Cub for Larry's.
Yeah.
So I just want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Because like I said, that's a government thing. So if you did it, if you try to keep to, they would probably send you to the Bahamas, and I don't want that to happen. So as long as you're willing to make that sacrifice, then we'll give you a fair chance to keep you in mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful.
As soon as you call me and tell me like, hey, we're gonna offer you a job, or text me or whatever, I will go to Larry's and make sure I resign.
To cut up.
Oh yes, sorry.
You could. All
It's
right.
getting late, you know.
I know. I don't have too much in me myself, which is why I'm starting to stumble over my words. But yeah, that sounds good. I just want to make sure, because like I said, I don't want to see people go to the Bahamas for it. And I did have someone try to be sly, and he made it all the way to the training phase, and he worked at PDM at the time. So this is back in the day. But yeah, he worked for PDM. Tried to tell me he didn't, and he was trying to. And it wasn't until one of the other trainees that day, because I trained everyone at once, so I had like eight people under my arm that day. One of the trainees called out and said, hey, he works at PDM. He was just there yesterday. And I said, excuse me? And needless to say, that guy, he didn't last past training. So, so yeah, I mean, that's just beyond us, because that's just the government's rules beyond us. So... But I appreciate it, and like I said, I'll give you a fair chance and see how everything goes. Just let me get through some more people, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Hope, and yeah.
No problem, Odin. And I wish your best with your lady. Hope she recovers.
Yeah, me too. I don't even know what happened to her. I got to haul ass down there.
Okay. Well, good luck with
How you
everything.
doing?
Thanks for dropping in, and I'll be in touch.
All right. See you soon.
All right. Take care. At least he explained why he was not dressed. Not dressed, but explained it was emerge. Explained he just left ER. I like his answers better than Blake's. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, what's going on?
Hello, how's it going?
I sell motorcycles here.
We actually don't. The only place cut up is your main motorcycle shop. That's with a K, and that's in the city. And they think they have a couple and some scooters and shit over in was it Big Polly's?
They're closed, huh? It's closed right now.
They both the doors. Any dealership, the doors should be open, available for you to do a catalog. Now, whether anyone's around to make a sale, that's a different story.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But you
Yeah,
can try to
fuck
reach
it,
out on Larry's. I mean, not Larry's, on L. Fucking idiot.
I just need to buy a car, honestly, any car. See what y'all got real quick.
I guess these photos are just going away. I feel like somebody took down the two that... I really do feel like somebody took them down.
Hey, can I get the oh, sorry about that. Can I get the Albania Emperor? I think it's called.
Albany. You said the Emperor?
Yeah.
Give me a second. And are you gonna be paying for that in cash, or are you doing a loan?
Want to do a loan, the smallest amount I can.
Well, the vehicle price is $2,220. What's your state ID?
886.
One more time.
886.
Alright, you approved for a $225,000 loan. That would put your down payment at $611. And that would leave $1,931 on the loan. And you
Right.
can spread that out over 5 to 16 weeks. How long do you want to do?
5 weeks.
5 weeks, you'd be looking at a $387 payment for 5 weeks.
All right.
There you go.
All right.
And then you just have to approve it under your loans or something like that. There you go. There she is. Thank you very
How
much.
far out there? All right. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Have
Enjoy
a
your new
wonderful
vehicle.
day.
You too.
Thank you.
We've got 2 rats in here that are driving me crazy. it's a rat. And he did do it. Two gold chains. I don't have those. I don't have access to them. I don't think I have two gold chains. I have to move this real quick. approaching my peak sleepiness, so after this guy buys or whatever he's done, I'm gonna go and pass out. I know that I said that we'd do a little more, but I'm just too tired. Way too tired. My eyelids are very heavy. Oh boy. Oh, is this guy done yet? I'm ready to go to bed. Oh, I'm ready to go to bed. If he's not choosing anything, I'm gonna pass out. I hate to pass out here in the store though. I have done it before. Everyone's buying. I'm fucking leaving. I'm tired. I'm ready for bed. No. Get up.
Shit, man, shit!
Front bumper, let's do the side. The grill. And then the hood. It is currently off. So yeah, there's not much to it. This is drivable for now. Time to go.
Fuck you, Cabrón! And of course. Right when I'm so close to home. We're almost there, guys.
Scary. If like you have. Lights on the other one will be another combination. They coming real soon, like in the next few days. So
Yeah, guys, I'm trying to watch some fucking Dashy. I'm trying to go to bed. I have to do now, wake up in front of my car, and then park it.
It all went to spam folders. Check y'all spams. Not the food. Hey, what y'all eating on? Gluten-free macaroni and cheese. Y'all thought I was gonna say spam because I just said spam. It would have made sense. Without further ado, where you have running from? Sleep paralysis, demons. I think that's what this is about. Like this. No way. I got work tomorrow. Please. I already called in twice this week. I can't call in again. Let me just catch my.
Okay. Come on, hurry up. Come on. Hurry up. Fuck. Where the fuck's my car? It's right by the house.
Go fuck yourself! Son of a broke-down whore! Oh!
What the hell?
Okay. Alright guys, this is gonna be it for me tonight. I am pooped. I'm tired. But I appreciate everyone. Thank you for everyone who's stopping by. Thank you, Emo Chandler, for the raid. Sorry that I missed it. And we'll continue tomorrow. Hopefully hopefully earlier in the day, and we'll do a little bit of everything, alright? Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys have a great night. Appreciate you. Have a good one.